Hello fabulous ones, welcome back to my channel. I am Marlo Keenan, and if you're new here, welcome to the fabulous family. Today we are going to be reviewing, swatching, playing with, demoing, all of that good stuff with the James Charles x Morphe palette. This palette, I wonder what I think about it. We are going to see how this palette performs on my eyes. We are going to do exactly what James Charles says, and we ain't gonna be playing no games. Let's just get right into the video. Okay guys, now that I'm pulled you up a little bit, here is the palette itself, and let's open it up. And look how pretty! Oh, I just can't stand it. So I like to know the names of my shadows, so I took the sheet that comes with it and I just taped it. I did that with my Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette and some other ones. So I do like to know the name of the shadow. So this palette looks absolutely gorgeous. But before we start, what I do want to say is that there's so much kind of whatever controversy about every freaking thing that comes out. I swear to God, I think, you know, YouTube needs to grow up just a little bit. But in any event, I watched James Charles' video twice because there are kind of instructions on how to use the palette. So typically what he says, bottom line is that you need to go ahead and prime your eye, but prime your eye with an actual eye primer, because the matte shadows are pressed pigments in which during application you want to press those on to get a better application and the most pigmentation out of those specific eyeshadows. So that's what he said. That's what I'm going to do. I typically go in with a concealer to prime my eyes. I do have the Urban Decay primer, but I have one in a color, and I don't want to use that because I don't want that to alter the colors that I'm about to use in this palette. So what I'm going to do, he mentioned not to use tape shape, so I'm not going to use that, but I am going to use my MAC Studio Fix concealer. He did say that the MAC paint pots are really good, but I don't even really think those were made to be a eyeshadow primer. They're actually cream eyeshadows by definition. So this is the closest thing I'm going to use, and typically I use this anyway to prime my eyes, and I set it with a powder. However, he did say you don't want to do that. So basically I'm going to go in with the Studio Fix. I'm going to go right straight in with the eyeshadow, and we're just going to see how this works out. I'm excited. What I want to do, my goal for the day, is to do like one color on this side, one color on this side, so I could try to use as many colors as possible and basically see what we get. So let's get started. So I already, you know, got my foundation on and stuff. I didn't do no highlight yet because I'm going to wait till the end for that. So, okay, so I'm going to do one eye at a time just because I'm doing different colors on each eye. And this video may be a little longer than usual, which you guys know I don't be doing 20-minute videos like that. It just depends on what kind of video it is, but because this is kind of like a talk through sort of, and me just wanting to see what's going to be going on with this palette, we're going to do this. Now I'm going to take my NC42 in my MAC Studio Fix concealer, and I'm going to go prime my eye, and I'm going to do, again, one eye at a time, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, typically when I prime with this, because I have like severely hooded eyes, guys, like for real, it will crease if I don't powder it. But I'm gonna try to work fast. That's why I'm gonna wait to prime the other eye. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get this on here and pat it in, and hopefully it won't crease by the time I choose the color. Okay, now that I got that laid down, I'm not even trying to like blink my eye because I don't want it to crease. This is a technique that's been going around YouTube like it's nobody's business. I typically don't do this technique. To each their own. My eyeshadow still be coming out bomb.com. So I am going to take, what is this brush? My It Cosmetic brush, And this is kind of like a firmer, well, a denser fluffy brush, and is kind of flat on the top but not totally. So what I'm going to do is take this well-deserved talked about shade right here, and this is supposed to be the reddest red to man in God's existence of eyeshadows. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, and this color is called You're Kidding, and I'm gonna go ahead and tap that. Ooh, little powdery. Okay, but I don't care about that, as long as it's not that powdery. And let me just dip some more, and I'm gonna go right in. Pray for me, guys, because I never do it this way. I am just going to tap that bad boy in. Boom. I'm packing it in, just like James Charles said, right into the crease. I'm packing it. So far, so good. Now I'm gonna also bring it down and pack it right onto my lid and in my outer corner. I'm not sweet, you know, blending. I am just packing. And by the way, it is pretty damn red. Now I'm not bringing it. It doesn't matter to me if I, you know, bring that or put product right there, because I'm doing a cut crease on some level. I just don't know what kind of cut crease yet, but I don't care about filling that space in. Okay guys, this is pretty dark gone red, okay? And if you could tell, I am continually packing this color on because I'm just loving the way it looks. You know what I'm saying? Because it is so freaking opaque, and as you pack, it just gets richer and deeper and redder, and I just love it. And if you could see, there is not one single daggone patch. Like, seriously, not one. So this method is working. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brush here and I'm gonna just wipe it over here. I have a paper towel in front of me. I just wanna get rid of some of the product, okay? Well, most of the product that's left over. Now what I'm going to do, now see how I got a lot of that product taken off of there? I'm gonna flip my brush kind of like flat, and I'm gonna blend out the edges ever so gently. Okay, here we go. Barely touching the skin to diffuse that harsh line. I'm gonna take my MAC brush, I don't know what number this is because I had it for like 20 years, and I'm gonna take this color right here that's right over the You're Kidding, and this shade right here is called Rusted, and I'm just gonna take that and blend out a little bit more above that red, just a little bit, and this doesn't have too much fallout at all. I'm gonna take it right there and lightly, very lightly, barely touching, and blend it out a little bit more with this new color. Still taking a little bit more of that color, and this is absolutely blending out perfectly, guys. I am not having any issues right now. So, and what I'm gonna do, probably I might just keep it like this. I probably won't give too much of a brow bone highlight. I'm not sure, because that's not what I'm going for. I'm just trying to expose these colors for what they are. So we'll see as I move forward how it's gonna look, but right now it is blending out beautifully. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put my tap my brush into You're Kidding again, And I'm gonna bring it down the lash line, okay? Because I really want this to be blown out. Okay guys, now I'm going to cut the crease. I am going to cut the crease with my Urban Decay All Nighter concealer in the shade medium neutral, and I'm using this because I like this to cut my crease. It's just a really good concealer. It's full coverage and it is tacky. So we're going to cut the crease, and I don't know what shade I'm going to put on. We'll figure that out after I cut the crease. Let's do this. Okay, and typically how I do my creases, guys, if you've been watching me, I go ahead and create the line first, and then I take my Garnier Micellar Water makeup remover and I take off the rest of the product on the bottom, and then I fill it back in with the concealer because I want whatever I put on that concealer to be opaque. I don't want any of this red peeking through, so I'm taking it off. That's why I didn't care about filling that in earlier, because I knew I was going to do this. So I'm going to take it off, and then I'm going to go ahead and put fresh concealer on it. I just wanted to create the cut crease shape first. I am going to take this white and I'm going to put it all over that crease. I may put another color on top of the white. Let's just see how the white performs, because you know I be having issues with white. Well, it's definitely a bit chalky and you definitely have to layer it, but that's what James Charles said in the video, that, you know, this white, if you layer it and layer it, it will become the most opaque white. So I'm just gonna keep on going and layering, guys. Go back in, pat that. And then what I'm going to do is, just because I want to and I can, I'm going to take this color down here. It is called Artistry, and it's like this, I don't know what it is. It looks like a duochrome type of freaking reflective pigment. I'm going to take my finger and just pat that in the middle, in between the red and the white. I'm just going to use it because I want to see how it performs. Absolutely not doing anything. Let me dig a little harder. Not doing anything. Okay, let's try it with a detailed brush. I'm gonna dig it in, wet it. MAC Fix Plus. Just get, I mean, it's doing a little something. It's adding a nice little iridescent, like shimmery reflex. You know what I'm saying? It did a little something something. It's pretty. It just ain't as, you know, pigmented either way, whether you use your finger or a wet brush, because, you know. And this is a detailed brush that's very firm. It's not a fluffy brush, but it's doing a little something something. It's pretty. You could definitely see the contrast. You could definitely see the contrast. So it is doing what it needs to do. Okay, now just for the sake of using colors, all these colors, I am going to take a shader brush, my Sephora smudge brush rather. And I am going to throw this blue right here, which is, what is this? Playground. And I'm going to throw this and pack it right under the lash line. Okay, I'm going to stop here for now with this eye. And we're gonna start on the other eye, but first, because there was a little bit like of fallout, I'm gonna go ahead and put some loose powder under my eye, because I do have my base on already. just so I could go ahead and get rid of that fallout when it happens. Okay, so now on the other eye, I'm going to take this rich, looks like cobalt blue, and do the other eye. And this color is called Cola. Okay, now I'm gonna do the same technique as I did the other eye, but first, let me go ahead and prime the eye. Okay, I'm gonna use a Firma 201 brush to do so. This is kind of like the same brush that I used for the other eye, it's just by a different brand, but it's like the same type of brush. So let's go ahead and dig into this color. Wish me luck. And there is a little fallout, but again, that does not bother me. Again, I'm using the same technique. I'm gonna pat it in. Okay, so now I'm gonna take that same MAC brush that I cleaned off in its entirety so there's no red on it, and I'm going to take this color here, and this is Brother, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the red. I'm gonna go ahead and tap that slightly, and again, there's a little bit kickback, but not much, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend that blue out. Okay, so far so good. I am liking it. It's blending out just fine. All of that good jazz. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip right back into that dark blue and bring it towards the lower lash line. Smoke it out. Alrighty, now I'm going to cut the crease again, and then I am going to apply the same white shade the way I did on this eye. I'm still gonna go ahead and use that purple to do it in the middle just for symmetry purposes. Okay, now I'm gonna take that shader brush again. I already cleaned it, and I'm gonna go and use that red color. You're kidding, and pack it in my lower lash line. Okay, basically I am done. I'm gonna go throw some eyeliner on. I'm gonna throw some lashes on, the lippy, and get all jazzed up and finish this look off. And I will be right back with my final commentary of this James Charles times Morphe palette. Okay guys, here is the final look. All I did was go ahead and put a little bit of eyeliner on. I have my House of Lashes Iconic on, and I finished it up with Gerard Cosmetics Everything Nice. I wanted to have kind of like a neutral lip because I wanted the focus obviously to be on the eyes. Now, let's talk about this palette. I do love this palette. Now, I obviously only used some of the shades. You know, I had used the blue, I used this red, this orange toned red, and this color right here. This shade I had took and put in between, you know, the outer corners of that cut crease in between the shade to blend it, you know, just to, not to blend it out, but just to give it a little pizzazz. This shade is not like my favorite. I believe James Charles said this was more like a topper, and I believe that is so because it wasn't really pigmented. I couldn't, like, you know, even with the fingers and with the brush and me wetting the brush, it just, you know, it just wasn't all that. You know what I'm saying? However, everything else that I used was extremely pigmented. Now, I did it the way James Charles said in terms of the, you know, concealer and all of that, but he said use actual primer. I used my MAC Studio Fix concealer and it worked just fine, but I patted it in just like he said, and it wasn't like, oh my god, the first pat I was like, oh my god, it's pigmented, I can't see through the skin of my eyes. No, I built it up, but when I did build it up, it was opaque as all get out. I was able to blend it out. It was fine. I didn't have no issues with it. I mean, I really can't wait to dive into the rest of the colors. Now, this white, to me, it wasn't all that. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely what was the word I would use for it? It was definitely chalky. Because I did have to layer it and keep on layering it on the eye. I don't feel that this was the brightest white. However, maybe if I had cut the crease with my NYX white base, it might have become more opaque. And so I'm definitely gonna try it that way next time, instead of using my what did I use, my Urban Decay concealer. I'm going to use a white base to see if that brings out the white of this shadow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to play with this palette because I do like it. I like it. Outside of those little things that I just talked about, it is a good palette. I'm going to do quite a few more looks using this palette, especially a neutral look, like a warm tone look, because I'm dying to use these two shades right here and these browns up here to create kind of an everyday look. Now, is this an everyday look? No. Obviously it's not. I wanted to go ahead and use as much color as I can. Now, on the red side, I used the blue to pack in my lash line, and on the blue side I used the red. Now what I would do differently, I would have never brought in the original blue and red color and washed it down. Next time I would just go in with the actual color that I want to do on my lash line. Like this one I use the blue, this one I use the red. I would just go straight in with that color because I feel like it would have gave a different twist to the look. But I am happy with the look. I mean, like seriously. I mean, come on now. I mean, you ain't liking this look? I'm just saying, I absolutely love it. And I am going out tonight. And I'm gonna go out just like this and rock 2 different color eyes. And if somebody says something, you already know. So I'm super excited. So yes, I really do enjoy this palette. I highly recommend it. I got it from Ulta. I used some of my points, so I didn't even have to pay full price for it. So I feel it's definitely worth it. You have to go check it out for yourself. The last commentary I want to say, and then I'm gonna be done, that may be just a little bit negative, but not really. I don't feel that this is a beginner's palette. I really don't, like, because if you have to do all that, what I did with the concealer, and you got to know how to pat and blend out, I feel like an everyday person that wears makeup is not going to really know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is for somebody like people who wear makeup all the time and know what to do with it and make it work and all that stuff. I'm just not sure if it's a beginner's palette, and that's the only, you know, less than desirable commentary that I have for it. But other than that, guys, the palette is bomb.com. I like it, so I'm gonna continue to use it. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe, honey, okay? All right, until next time, bye-bye now.